Hi, this is Amy Murphy, Market Specialist with McGraw-Hill Education. I work along with Ryan Ritter, your local rep. As Ryan noted in his email, while we were in the department recently, we learned that there were a couple of questions centered around assignment functionality within Connect that we wanted to clarify. The first question that came up was centered around drop-down boxes while the students are working on the end of chapter assignments. So I am in an assignment right now that I'm editing. I'm on the Set Policies page where I have the opportunity to pick what type of assignment this is. Right below the area where you choose your assignment type and look at those settings is an area that is called Intelligent Response Technology Custom Policy. Here you'll notice that the default, whenever you create an assignment, is going to have both autocomplete and drop-down list options for your students. If you decide you do not want the drop-down list, you'll simply click the second option here, autocomplete only, no drop-down lists, and then you'll want to save that as a default setting, and that will apply to, if you choose the box there, which I clicked too quickly, that can apply to all of your homework settings that you've created already or will continue to create that are in that particular homework setting. So I can see it's autocomplete only. I'm going to continue creating this assignment by clicking on Review and Assign, and then Assign. And then let's take a look at what that looks like from a student perspective so you can see the choices that your students have. I do want to point out that the drop-down, turning that drop-down off, turns it off when there are chart of account content. So you'll still see some areas where a drop-down choice is required of the students, but it's not when they're actually working on the statement of account. So for example, here in my instructions, I can see that it's already asking me to identify what type of account it is, asset, liability, etc. So here I still will have a drop down and have those choices, but I can already see what those are up above as well. So for those, I would continue working through that. But when we get to the next question here, now you'll notice that there are no drop downs for me. So as a student, I need to fill that in. So I'm just going to throw some numbers in here, not really paying attention too closely. So don't judge. And then when I get to required B on my list of my three, when I get to the journal worksheet, again, no drop downs here. I'm going to need to start typing in the actual entries. So we just wanted to make sure that you saw that that is an option. Because it's a default to include the drop downs, not everybody is aware of that at the beginning. So should you have any questions, please let us know about that. The other question came up around customization of content. And we can certainly customize the textbook for you to include the chapters that you want or add material that you would like to add. But one easy way to do that without having to change the textbook or take away content from your students that they may want to reference in future semesters if they keep their book is to go into the Smart Book, Learn Smarter Smart Book, you'll hear me say interchangeably. And this is the assignment that provides an adaptive reading experience for your students. And what I mean by that is it really helps give them a guided reading experience so that they're focusing in and reviewing on learning objectives where they need the most practice. So that can be a difficult skill for students to identify what they know and what they don't know. And working through SmartBook will allow them to do that. And for you as an instructor, when you pick a chapter and assign it, you're able to customize the content down to the learning objectives. So in this particular chapter, I can see that there's 95 learning objectives covered, and it's covering all the content in the book. Now, if I don't want to cover a particular area, like computing the gross margin ratio, I can deselect that. And I can deselect any of these. And so whatever is still check marked is the content that my students will be focusing on in the assignment. So that's what they'll be reading through and answering questions about. So that's one way that each individual instructor can really hone in on the concepts that are most important without, again, having to take away content from the students that they might reference at a later time. So I hope this is helpful. Ryan and I would love to have the opportunity to meet with you all as a group or individually to just take another pass and review at looking at Connect and answering any questions to ensure that we're providing you with a course that's going to have the most successful outcomes for your students. So thanks again.